Good afternoon. I'm Brian Thornton with Envirocast. I'm out here at the job site that we've been profiling here for the last week. Again, I'm the sales representative for Envirocast, covering the Chattanooga market, North Georgia, Alabama, and parts of the Carolinas as well. With me here today is Mr. John Cook. He is one of the purveyors or one of the owners of Cook Brothers Homes, and this happens to be his very personal home that he's building here on site. So John, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and your company?
Yeah, so Cook Brothers is focused on 55 plus communities. We build for a lot of folks coming from out of state, from the Midwest, out east, and also out west. We build anywhere from 45 to 75 homes a year, and 25 to 30% of those homes are going to have basement foundations.
Okay, considering that you have so many of those homes that have basements, why have you chosen Envirocast to be your basement system of choice for these homes?
One of the big reasons is longevity. We are the only general contractor or builder in Tennessee that offers a 20-year structural warranty. So we give a very long warranty on all of our homes, so it's important to us to make sure that we're offering something that's going to stand the test of time.
Fantastic. Now, obviously you stay in touch with a lot of your customers over the life of their new construction. What do you find to be the most beneficial features of our basement wall system versus competitive products that are out there?
You know, I think the most beneficial feature is just the fact that it stays dry. I mean, it stays dry inside. They don't have to worry about it, any kind of moisture inside of their basement. The energy efficiency is incredible. There's just almost very little use of heating and or cooling in the basement area. And then unfinished areas are very easy to finish. You know, with typical basements, we're going to leave some areas unfinished that they may decide to finish later, and it's very easy for them to finish because they're already insulated and they're already studded.
Right. You know, one of the things you as a builder that you're always concerned with is timely construction and timely, production with your subcontractors. How do you find Envirocast falls into that system of speeding up the construction of the homes for your home buyers?
Well, you know, your basement dig is about the same length of time as any basement dig would be, but the upside is the fact that the walls will set in a matter of hours. So the crane, shows up, wall panels show up in a matter of, on a typical basement, 3 or 4 hours, the entire wall package is set. And then you're ready to dig your footers under daylight wall, pour those, go into slab plumbing, and keep on trucking. So from that standpoint, it's much faster. If you're doing like a poured in place wall, or one of your other two options, poured in place or a block wall, you're going to have to build those up. Masons are going to take a lot of time to build those up. It takes many days. Especially if there's rain, they're going to get delayed. Poured in place wall, setting all those forms again. You know, those are 3 to 4 week time frames of actually working before you have anything. And then once you get into it, you've got a lot more work to do.
Yeah, that's very, very true. I will say that the speed of putting these things up, having an entire basement system up in a matter of hours is amazing. But how about the accuracy of these walls? When we're talking about one length that's supposed to be 25 feet, another length that's supposed to be 40 feet, how about the accuracy? What do you find?
I mean, they're as exact as you can be in construction. You know, that's the other issue that you might have with a poured in place or a block wall is accuracy in terms of in level, out of level, lengths of walls. It's hard to get those things perfect. These being manufactured in a plant and coming and being set on site, we find them to be completely accurate. When you go to set your floor trusses, there's no worrying about, am I going to be over or going to be under? It's very exact.
Okay. You know, a lot of people, talk about the pricing, how much these walls cost. And
Yeah.
I think in a lot of times you're going to find that the costs are almost neck and neck. By the time you finish the basement, have somebody come in, fur it out, and have a separate contractor come in, insulate it, waterproof it, what have you. What are your experiences? You're the guy who buys this, and you're walking through the entire process of building the house and paying the bills.
Yeah, you've got to calculate all those extra costs, and I think that's what folks tend to forget is once you do a block wall, once you do a poured in place wall, there's all those extra steps that you have to take in terms of damp proofing and or waterproofing the wall, in terms of studding out the interior, in terms of insulating that wall. There's all those things, and then you have this overarching issue that it could leak again. It could leak at some point. But when you add all those extra things up that you have to do after the fact, especially at the cost of framing materials today, but even pre that being high, it's cost effective. It is at or below the cost of either of those other two options. when you factor in everything, and you also factor in the risk you're taking of, oh, this might leak sometime later on down the road.
Okay, I think you bring up a real good point. You're talking about, warranty issues. You briefly touched upon that. I think there's certainly a cost with doing warranty work, but that also affects maybe your reputation as far as a builder. So this probably makes you rest a little bit easier at night saying, hey, I'm not going to get any calls on a leaky basement. It's one thing to replace a spindle on a stairway, but when you've got a leaky basement, you've got issues.
We don't worry about our basements leaking. That's not something we lose sleep at night about at all. There's definitely things that we do, but that's a leaky basement, is not one of them. It's just not an issue. If the prep work is done right, in terms of installing the drains properly, installing the gravel properly, getting your overdig proper, and then the walls getting set, that's just not something that we have to worry about and that our clients have to worry about. And if that does occur on a basement, if you use a different solution for a basement foundation and that does occur, it is a nightmare to correct it.
Right.
Because there's almost no corrective action you can take from inside that's gonna work, or probably that's going to satisfy the client. So then you're digging up the yard, or you're digging up concrete. You're doing major construction work on something that you thought you were done with.
Okay, great. Well, I want to thank John for coming out here, making the time to talk about Envirocast wall systems and what benefits it has not only to the builder himself, but more importantly to the end user, the customer. John, again, thank you so much. If there's anything I could ever do for you to make your life a little bit easier, short of washing your car, painting your house, I'll certainly do that. But I certainly appreciate the business, and thank you for the confidence in our wall systems.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you for watching.